As Spider-Man 2 has reached its 1 year anniversary, I wanted to make a video on my final thoughts about the game. Now, as many of you viewers and subscribers have known, since the beginning of my channel, and if you have joined at the beginning or along the way, that this was originally a Spider-Man 2 channel, until I made a God of War Ragnarok video on October 7th and played it the following day. But today I want to do my final review on Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Now, I won't lie and say that this game is an all masterpiece, but the game does really have some amazing things. But I will start with the good. You have the spider arms, something we've all wanted after Spider-Man 2018 and its remastered version in 2020. And then with Miles getting a spin-off game, it only made us want it more when he had his bioelectricity abilities. You also have the slingshot mechanic, where you could do it pretty much everywhere in the open world. And then you have that super slingshot that is placed around the map multiple times. The symbiote abilities were amazing, both with the Venom and Anti-Venom abilities. Miles getting his normal bioelectricity and then his blue upgraded version from his encounters with Mr. Negative. You also had a playable Venom mission, which got a lot of people happy to play as Venom because when we saw the gameplay for Spider-Man 2 back before launch, we all wanted to have a playable Venom. Now I know it was only one mission, but it made the game so much better even when we got to free roam from when it got launched for the game. And then now, as of 2024 in November, you can still have a playable Venom. I have a video if you like to see in my channel, and I believe Insomniac is not going to patch it. Miles' character has improved upon so much since the first two games. He is, of course, still mourning the loss of his father from the first game, and in the beginning of Spider-Man 2, we saw him wanted to reciprocate, or in simpler words for you guys, the same kindness Warren Lee had showed in the City Hall bombing. When we had the boss fight against him, we see Miles not fall under Lee's control and broke free, saying that his father saved people from Lee because of how much he hated Norman Osborn for killing his parents. We hear him saying losing his dad wasn't holding him back, but he was the one doing it. What changed the whole dynamic for me was Lee asked Miles to kill him pretty much because he was ashamed of what he had done, but Miles ended up not doing it and let him go. And
You're done, Lee. I'm not doing this anymore. You wanna know who I am? I'm the kid whose dad you killed at City Hall. He died because you decided your problems were more important than all of those people's lives. Jefferson Davis was a hero who saved people from you.
Miles.
No. I'm done listening to you. Losing my dad? It's not what's holding me back. I was the one doing that. But not anymore.
Do it. Please.
When you're out, find Spider-Man.
Do not let them escape!
then at the end, Miles said, "I can't forgive you. It's just not in me, but I can't carry this hate for you anymore, man." So let's set things right in. they put their differences aside to save Peter, showing us Miles has really grown from his game.
We have one more option. If I can transfer all of my power into the symbiote, I think that could neutralize it. And free Peter.
What'll happen to you?
I guess we'll find out.
Well, if this is my last chance to say anything to you, I won't forgive you. It's just not in me. But I can't carry this hate for you anymore, man. So let's set things right. You and me.
Ready?
Let's see how they like this. Why didn't you give me this power sooner? I could have used it.
I didn't give you those!
You didn't? You okay, man?
I'm fine! Just keep fighting! Miles, I wanted to thank you for trusting me.
Yeah, well, like you said, better make it count, right? Maybe try things my way sometime.
I'm not sure I'd make a convincing hero.
Won't know until you try.
Miles! Help!
I'm coming!
This is all my fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We did it.
Kraven was pretty much the comic accurate version we wanted to see. Now, did we really see all of what Kraven had to offer? No, but he showed us how ruthless of a hunter he can be. Yes, they kill the Sinister Six off screen, which I will agree wasn't right, and maybe we should have gotten some cutscenes here and there of how they died, and not just the audio tapes of how they died. But the voice actor and face model were so good for how Kraven should look. If you think Spider-Man 2 is a bad game, that is fine. You can believe that, but just hear me out real quick. Metacritic gave the game a 90% rating, while IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. along with OpenCritic giving it a 90%. There will always be that one type of person that looks to downgrade the game if they find one thing they don't like. And for a lot of people, this is what they don't like was the MJ face model. And we didn't really like her missions in the first game, of course, because they were pretty boring, just like sneaking around and finding out clues and stuff. But she got a taser and was upgraded to a taser web mixture and then a taser sonic version. And her face model, it is still the same face model as the first game. It's just she changed over the years. For me, I am fine with the face model, but as some of you guys know from Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest, people have criticized the face of MJ, and we know that when the PC port comes out for January 30th, modders are going to go nuts with remaking it for people. But what stood out the most for this game was that it costed $300 million, which is an extra $30 million, making them go over budget, along with selling nearly 11.5 million copies since its launch. Now, I will say in shout out to Victor Edits for asking me about the length of one of the mission acts. And I will say that the Symbiote Peter storyline was too short and was only 10 missions. Now, I know that the game was cut due to time strains, but thanks to official artwork of Spider-Man 2, we know we were supposed to get more gameplay like a symbiote invasion in the Daily Bugle, more symbiotes including the Life Foundation symbiotes. We also got a tease of Carnage and the Flame side quest, and a lot more. The third act was a little shorter than I liked, and the one thing I didn't like was the Venom boss fight as well. And we all know and have played it, and we know that it took place in EMF and at Midtown High, but in the videos it was shown in open world, and then in a game making file it was supposed to be also, as well as open world and then in a subway, but it made it actually emotional with Midtown High and EMF being two of Peter and Harry's most iconic spots. There were a lot of heartfelt moments in the game, with Peter apologizing to MJ when he had been stabbed by Kraven, saying that he wasn't always there for her and he wished he had been. And then Harry had cried when Peter had died from his injuries from being stabbed in the ribcage by Kraven. Miles trying to protect the people he loves so nothing bad happens again to his loved ones, like what happened with his father. Peter saying to both Connors and Miles that the symbiote had made him feel like he was a better Spider-Man because he didn't feel like he was good and he was always self-doubting himself at times. The boss fight between Peter and Miles, where Peter says that all he ever wanted to do was save MJ and May, along with Miles telling Peter he knows that Peter is hurting at the moment from his losses, but that he can be better than that. And when Peter is freed from the symbiote, he looks to Miles and says, "Thank you for everything." Also, Peter tells Harry that the symbiote has to be destroyed so Harry doesn't end up the way he was. And when Harry became Venom, Peter still held on to the hope that he can save his best friend, even after Connors had said, "You can still stop the symbiote, but by killing him only." And then with Norman then looking to Peter and saying, "Please save my boy," that made Peter kind of go back and forth. And when Miles asked what happened, he said, Connor said we can't save him. And then he started crying about it a little bit. And Miles told him that they can still save him. And then MJ said, if it comes down to it, Peter quickly stopped and said, "I'm not going to kill him," pretty much. The other heartfelt moment was at the end when Peter says he is sorry to Harry and screams in sadness because he thinks it's his own fault for Harry pretty much passing on from his cancer. One thing I will say that I personally did not like was the lack of missions for Miles. They were mostly with Peter, but he had 10 missions with Peter and then 6 solo missions. Granted, yes, it is about half of the game that is Miles, but it would have been nice to have a bit more of Miles Morales. So if there were more Miles missions, I would have been happy. And like I said, I know that it was due to time restraint, but it would have been a little bit nicer to see kind of reflect also on Miles, because the cover art is pretty much just the same as Marvel Spider-Man with Peter's logo, and not like the some of you guys have seen like a Venom and Peter symbiote logo mixture, or like a Peter and Miles mixture of their logos. That would have been kind of cool for Spider-Man 2. Maybe we'll get that in Spider-Man 3. I'm not fully sure yet till they announce it sometime in 2027, 2028. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Marvel Spider-Man 2 and your opinion on the game. And if you're interested on Marvel's Wolverine, click the video on screen to learn more. I'll see you all in a brand new video tomorrow. God bless, and peace, everyone.